First of all, the reason that I'm painting. I started painting in 2010 when I came to a part in my life when I needed to change something. I just needed to slow down and find ways to relieve stress. And I've always been interested in art from when I was a kid. And then, of course, life gets in the way. And now, at 60, I thought, well, I'm going to try this. So I went and bought paint, went to the Artist Emporium and bought an easel and paint and brushes and just started painting. And I'm really having fun with it. It's challenging, that's for sure. Never had any lessons. I take lessons from Google. Whenever I have a question about something, I'll just Google it and go, well, so what I intend to do and what I have been doing is painting every season, one painting every season. And in this painting, there's a person that's had an impact on my life and a place that's had an impact on my life. So my first painting is hanging in my daughter's house now. It was in the fall of 2010, and it had Kiefer and Georgia walking at the forks along the river. And that was a lot of fun to do. It's the fall, I love the fall, the colors. And I think what I said about that painting was it was one of my favorite places to walk, and it certainly had an impact on my life because it's everybody needs a place to go and just enjoy the sunshine. I guess that painting is probably one of my favorite ones, and I might say that again before I'm finished talking, because every time I do a painting, it's my favorite one. That Georgia and Kiefer walking at the forks, though, is always going to be a special one because it was my first one. And so I went on from there. That was the fall. And that winter was another painting of Kiefer pushing his little, what I call his Flintstone mobile. And it showed him pushing that in the snow at the front of our house with Jules's dog, Dodger, right behind him. And yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. And of course, this house has had a fairly big impact on my life, on Charlotte's life. Our family, our children were raised here. And I feel very fortunate that they're all close by here now with their own families and their own lives. And it's nice that, they're all within 10 minutes of here. I love that. Oh, before the spring, there was this. And this painting is hanging at Michelle's house. Michelle was the one who took me to New Orleans. That was a birthday gift from the family. So I felt very fortunate that she took me. She's an excellent traveling companion for sure, and we had just a wonderful time. And this painting is a compilation of a lot of the photographs that we took. So if you go to New Orleans, you're not going to see this, but you will see little parts of it all together in one painting. It depicts a view from inside a shop. And of course the beads, the masks, Mardi Gras. And there you have, I call that one, I Wish I Was in New Orleans. And that's taken from a Tom Waits song, of course. Roger. Like I said, I want to paint pictures of people that have had an impact on my life. And Roger certainly did. And when I say Roger, I'm not talking about my dad, but of course my dad did have a huge impact on my life, and he will be in a future painting. But this painting is Roger, who died of ALS, and he was one of the first people that I cared for when I graduated from nursing. And I have him sitting on the deck of the Brummett Feesby ALS house. And every day that I was with him, he was happy. He would smile every morning when he woke up, and he would laugh all day. And I'll never forget Roger, that's for sure. He's one of those people that inspire you. All my children met him, and I'm really glad that they did. And I hope he inspired them as well. I'm sure he did. You know, with all the troubles that we have, you still can find a way to enjoy your life. And Roger certainly did that. So, my fifth painting, that brings me to my childhood home. We're going way back here, 1957. I remember this house on South Hudson Street. This painting depicts actually a couple of parties that took place probably 2 years or 3 years apart. All the children here were celebrating my sister Louise's birthday. And she was probably about 8 or 9 years old at that time. I'm not sure of the exact dates. But I know when I wore this funny outfit here, I was 7 years old. I look a little bit older in the painting. But nonetheless, that's, you know, that to me this has a good feel of what it was like back then in the early 1950s. The other party was this one. My mom is sitting at the picnic table here and passed out ice cream to everybody. And this is my little sister Shelley on the wagon. If you look closely, you can see bases where we played baseball. We played dodgeball. We played badminton. My dad had put a badminton net across the yard here. It was the biggest yard in Flin Flon. Not in Flin Flon, on South Hudson Street. And most of the kids on South Hudson Street would come to this yard. And there's lots of happy memories about that. You can see in the background here the smelter smoke. Then we get to the fall in 2011. This is my second fall scene, and it depicts outside again, outside my front door. You can see Charlotte here blowing the leaves, and still flowers. This is just before the winter sets in, and kids always have fun in the leaves. This is the first painting where I've got all my grandchildren in here. There's Kiefer, there's Hayes, and there's Georgia. Georgia's bike here. This is the second winter painting, of course. And I call this Georgia and Auntie Michelle Rolling in the Snow. And that's the first painting where I just used one photograph and try and create a painting. That's what the painting looks like, and it turned out very well, I think. That was a lot of fun to do. Georgia's having a lot of fun there. You can almost hear her laughing. I mean, when we all think about people in our lives, there's people, way up here that have had an impact on your life, right? And I want to remember those people. And I want my children to know those people.